Preparation, you can do all the prep in the world, but once you're at that table, the most important thing is just...
Ooh, hey, sorry about that. Seems like he's gotten a little stuck to me. Just one moment.
listening to your players and following what they're excited about. Listening to your players.
That's it. He said it. That's the thing. Listening to your player. If you've ever wondered what makes a good dungeon master, Matthew Mercer just said it. You gotta learn how to listen to your players. Why does listening to your players matter? Why can't you just build out a whole campaign and force them to be railroaded through the entire thing? It's a great question. Because it's boring. We don't sit down at the table to fill out your fantasy. We sit down at the table as players to live out the fantasy of the characters we're playing. When you want to sit down at the table and play with lawful good characters who only want to do justice and stop the evil villains, but the players all want to sit down at the table and rob people, kill things, and burn things to the ground, you're going to have a hard time finding common ground on what's fun for everyone. So how do we listen better? Well, first we need to stop the noise! And the best way to stop the noise is by figuring out what noise is and how it affects your table. There are two forms of noise that affect pretty much any D&D table: internal noise and external noise.
How hurt are you? How hurt? No, how hurt? How hurt? Hurt!
External noise is the type of noise that you hear. It's somebody having a conversation with a friend. It's somebody stacking dice and then all the dice clatter to the ground. Anything that stops communication coming from the DM to the player or from the player to the DM is noise. That could be a cell phone, that could be a conversation, that could be the alarm going off in the background, it could be dice being stacked up, clattering to the ground. Internal noise is your emotions, your feelings, things that have happened throughout the day that you're now carrying with you into the D&D session. Not just that though, internal noise can also be your expectations for somebody else's character. It could be your expectations of that person, entirely different than their character, just how you expect them as a person to react to a situation. And so when you DM for them, you're starting to DM for that person and not for the character. You consistently react to their player character the same way you would react to them instead of reacting to who their player character is as a separate entity. Noise hurts D&D groups. It's not going to kill your game, but it doesn't help it. And it's not going to help you listen to the players at the table better. Sometimes we as DMs don't notice when we start treating a specific player the same way we would treat that player in real life as we do their character, or vice versa. Ultimately, a lot of internal noise is connected to assumptions. The assumptions we have for a person, the assumption we have for their character, the assumption we have for the situation in D&D, what we're expecting to happen. We've prepped all of this time. We were assuming we would be having some type of session where we'd be fighting on a train, and instead all the players decided to do is they want to shop for the next 4 hours. Happens to the best of us. This is considered noise, and it stops us from listening. You might be so caught up in trying to just get the players onto the train, which you've spent over a week and a half of prepping for, that you're missing out on the role play that they're having in these shops. It may just be a shop moment, but it could also be a moment for you to learn and to listen to what your players are doing. Because ultimately, it's not just the noise that needs to be fixed for you to be a better listener. It's also you learning how to understand your players, not just listen. Understanding comes from knowing the goals of your players, knowing what they're expecting out of the game itself, out of their character, and from you, the DM. Something you could do that's a great tool as a DM is sitting down with your players and asking them what their goal is for the game, for their player, and from you. Narrowing down expectations helps you to narrow down external noise that might be getting in the way of your gameplay experience. Something else that needs to be avoided is railroading. And it's short. The obvious railroading is you putting them on a literal train and not letting them get off of it until they've gotten to or done whatever it is you want them to do, or gotten to wherever you want them to be at. But you're not the only one who can railroad players. And something we as DMs need to be aware of is that sometimes the players are attempting to railroad each other, either into specific archetypes. I expect the thief to always be attempting to steal from me. He's untrustworthy. I don't like the thief. Or the paladin is, you have to be a paragon of justice. You have to be this representation of your god. The warlock is, of course, evil. He's trying to summon souls or something. I don't know. We constantly attempt to push people into these boxes. And when we do that, and we railroad them, one player to another, sometimes that can pull away from the fun the players are having. It's your job as a dungeon master to know what the players are expecting out of the game. Once you know what the players are expecting, once you know what each player wants from their character and the growth that they're hoping to have happen, sometimes things shift and change, and you can kind of check in at any point. There's nothing that says you can't check in. You should be keeping an eye now on how the other players are interacting with them. I know it's a lot. I know you're juggling role-playing NPCs, trying to get the players to specific spots or moments in the game. In addition, you don't really want to be listening to what the other players are talking about or interacting with each other. But it's so important that you do keep an eye on that, because ultimately, you're the game master, you're the dungeon master, you're the one in charge, and you have the final say over any given situation in the game. It's a lot of power, and we need to wield it accordingly. We're here to help facilitate a good, positive storytelling experience for our players. And if we're not willing to listen to them, they're not going to get one. What's one way you've noticed your dungeon masters listening to you or not listening to you? Let me know in the comment section down below. And if you liked what you saw, hey, I love to hear that. Please go ahead and subscribe to the channel so you can see more of my content. My name is Joe. Have a great day.